What's good, folks? 2 Minute Warning back in the air, and it's your favorite host, Josh Shimkus, and as always, the Godfather 2 Minute Warning Fury. We got Timothy Spooney. What's up, Timothy? How's it going on this beautiful Thursday night?
Oh, it's going good, man. It's going good. It's football night again. We're doing our picks. We have a lot of pissed off folks who are questioning our judgment when it comes to a certain team. We're gonna talk about in about a few minutes the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm hoping they're watching, and we only picking in our for best of our opinion. That's what we are.
Yeah, seriously, we just deliver. We look at the facts. We watch the tape, and we just try to dissect from there. I don't understand the harsh criticisms. I did fairly well last week, actually. So maybe I understand having discretions when your team is struggling a little bit. So for you folk out there, I understand. I'm a Giants fan. I understand where you're coming from, and even though the wins may be a mirage in that column for your team, it can be scary. So. All right. So.
Hey, you know what? And Shim, we picked the Steelers to win last week. I don't understand what's the problem. Yeah. We don't rehearse what we talk about. We just go with the way we think.
Facts. Right, just facts.
Start off, Shim. Yeah, I don't understand.
Let's do this. And for everybody watching, hit us up on the wall. We're going to be commenting and reading your reviews and comments. And for you on YouTube Live, hey, shout out. We got the live chat going. Give us a shout out here, and we'll read your comments on there. Thoughts, concerns. Let's do this. Let's get into it. Thursday night. This should be interesting, Tim, because I think Amazon Prime, for those viewers, I think they're going to try this new little Sky Cam. This could be interesting. Let's see how that works out. But let's talk about the matchup. It's going to be the Tennessee Titans traveling to the Steelers tonight. So we got Marcus Mariota has yet to turn the ball over in the red zone, Tim. Believe it or not, he has 36 touchdowns and 0 INTs in his career when in the red zone. And he makes quick, sound decisions, and he doesn't hold on to the ball. And not to mention, he is one of the best play-action QBs currently in the league. He's been trying to do too much right now in certain instances this season. He's forcing throws into coverage that isn't there. He's trying to get those attempts to Brown and get those other receivers going. But this is the NFL, and right when you think things are swinging in the right momentum for a team, they get smacked and get brought back down to reality a bit. So I can see that happening with the Titans, especially when you consider they're going to Heinz Field on a short week. So again, I look for the Steelers defense to come out with a lot of energy tonight. And again, a second week in a row, Tim, showing love. I got the Steelers taking this one tonight, 23-18.
Well, Shim, see, I might have to go in a different direction, but I'm going to explain why. I agree with everything you said about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big Ben is making a lot of bad decisions, trying to force balls into Antonio Brown. His guy. We've seen in the last couple of weeks, where teams are now, loading the box for Le'Veon Bell. So with that being said, Antonio Brown is getting the coverage. Juju Schuster. He's having an amazing rookie of the year. Amazing rookie of the year. And he's doing it up. But when your quarterback is forced to throw the ball to certain players to make them happy, that's not a good look. Issues happen. You can lose games like that. When we go to the Tennessee Titans, I'm looking at a team that is younger than the Pittsburgh Steelers, more athletic. They're balling. They even have their secondary guy in Adoree Jackson, who is a two-way player from USC, playing cornerback, which he's doing excellent in this year. And he's on certain type of plays on offense, like read option or jet sweeps. So I look at this game. Look at this game of youth versus age. And age. And you know what, Shim? I'm gonna go with the youth. I trust in Mariota. I trust in DeMarco Murray, Rashard Matthews. I trust in Corey Davis, the rookie. He's gonna ball. He could ball this tonight. I trust him with the Titans. Like what the Titans got too much youth. So I got the Tennessee Titans winning this game 28-27 on the road on an upset.
Very nice. And we got our own we on our YouTube live, we got Capra Sci-Fi, the user. He said this could be an upset. He's going with the Titans tonight. And we're gonna move on.
No doubt.
We got the Detroit Lions traveling to the Chicago Bears on Sunday. The Lions are attempting to get their third straight win as they visit the Bears, and their main focus is going to be stopping that running game and making Trubisky work from the pocket. I mean, the Lions currently employ the 10th best rushing defense, only allowing 101.2 yards per game. And they have the blueprint on how to do that thanks to the Packers from last week. We saw how the Packers loaded the box on 9 of Howard's 15 runs where he only accumulated 0.67 yards per carry. The Bears only have 3 wins this season, and Howard is responsible for 2 of them. Let's be real. Stop Howard, and you stop the Bears. I got the Detroit Lions taking this one on Sunday. I'm sorry. 28-13.
Wow, Shim. I mean, listen. This is a no-brainer. This is a very easy one for me, Shim. I'm looking at this game. I'm like, well, yeah, you're not playing Brett Hundley or the struggling Packers. You're playing an MVP caliber quarterback and Matthew Stafford, Golden Tate, and his other weapons. Trubisky's still a quarterback learning. I know they traded for wide receiver Dontrell Inman, who had a good game last week, but it's still a work. It's still a work in progress. All they really have is Howard. That's it. So Detroit got an easy job. Stop the run, and just score. Do what you do. Score. Easy game. I have the Detroit Lions winning this game 35-0 in upset. No upset. Excuse me. Straight up win. 35-0.
You love those goose eggs, though. You love giving those teams
I do love that. I be itching for those upsets.
Yeah, I know. Those shutouts are hard, man. In this NFL day and age, it's hard to get those shutouts.
Yes.
Let's go on, though. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to be traveling to Cleveland. As the Jaguars head to the winless Browns, they're going to need Saxonville to come alive, as the pass rush is going to be the key to the victory in this game. The Jaguars' defense is ranked top 3 in 6 key defensive categories. First in points against, third in total yards allowed per game, tied second in takeaways, first in passing yards against, and they're tied third in INTs. Their front 4 is one of the best in the league, and it should be enough to get to him and rough him up for the day. I mean, Deshaun Kaiser, right now he's averaging 2.87 seconds from the snap to throw, which ranks him 35th in the league. He's got to work on that, something serious, and he's going to need to address that in the offseason if he plans to be a long-term successful quarterback in this league. This one's going to be real no contest for the Jaggies. I got the Jaguars taking this one 27-9.
Shim, this is probably a preseason game for the Jaguars. This is the game where Blake Bortles should look like the quarterback he's supposed to look like, that number 1 overall pick a couple of years ago. Okay, this is the game where if any fantasy football lovers out there who have Jacksonville Jaguars defense, listen, they're gonna get points like a quarterback on a regular week. So there's only one thing that the Browns have on their roster that we could argue that Jacksonville may want or need is Myles Garrett. That's it. That's about it. Other than that, who leads the team in 4 sacks? That's not gonna get it done. I got the Jaguars winning this game 35-0. I love the blowout. 35-0.
What do we got going on here? Next game, we got the Ravens. They're traveling to Lambeau Field. The Packers' key to this game is the same it was last week against the Bears and Howard, where they held him to 55 yards on 17 carries. Ravens have clearly been a run-first team this season, as the stats show. Ravens are 10th in rushing yards per game with 120.9, as their passing game is dead last in the league, allowing 167.5 yards a game. And Ravens' passer rating It's 29th in the league at 74.6. We'll most likely see a lot of Buck Allen and Alex Collins on Sunday. While the Ravens' run D may allow some opportunities for the pack, they're going to challenge Hundley with one of the best pass defenses in the league. I think it's going to be closer than it probably should be, but I got the Ravens taking this one, 24-20.
Shim, you know, the news came out of Baltimore was they may give Alex Collins, the running back, the full job going forward. Daniel Woodhead is coming back, which is a good thing for the Ravens. He gives you another option in the passing game from the running back position. That's very good. The secondary is still one of the tops in the league with led by Brandon Carr, surprisingly. They pass rushes. I mean, my God, we're talking about Terrell Suggs, C.J. Mosley, Matt Judon. I mean, the rookie Tyler Bowser out of Houston. I mean, these are guys getting after the quarterback. Flacco's not having a great year, but he's good. He's good enough this year, which is a good enough team to go to Lambeau. Now, Brett Hundley had a good game last week. He won a division game, but it was against the Bears, the Chicago Bears. They haven't won a tough game with this guy at quarterback. Now, they lost Aaron Jones, their running back. They lost Ty Montgomery. So now we have the rookie Jamal Williams. Now, I'm sorry. Baltimore just got to just stack it up and channel this kid Brett Hundley. I got another blowout right here, Shim, and I got the Baltimore Ravens winning 28-10. 28-10. I said 20-10. I wanted 35.
Our guy Capper Sci-Fi on the channel is saying the Ravens might take the 6th seed from Buffalo. What do you think about that?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Listen, it's
possible. Get that run game going and keep that defense intact. And Flacco's main issue here is just not turn the ball over and just make smart, sound decisions.
I still think he needs that reliable wide receiver. That's really the issue. Mike Wallace up and out, Perryman. They got to find somebody who could,
Wallace is one-dimensional, just a vertical runner.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. I got you. All right, next we got the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're traveling to South Beach. Hurricane delay game. Nah, what to say, though, with these two teams. The Bucks have been absolutely struggling on both sides of the ball and will still be without their QB and Jameis Winston. You think that's bad? The Dolphins are saying, hold my beer. Dolphins rank dead last in touchdowns allowed, 31st in rush yards per game allowed in their third down percentage, and they rank 30th in the points per game allowed. They look absolutely checked out against the Panthers last week. You could argue if this team played with heart that McCaffrey would have 2 touchdowns less on his stat sheet. At this point, I'm putting more faith in the journeyman quarterback nobody wants with Ryan Fitzpatrick than any stock I would ever put in South Beach right now with the Miami Dolphins. I got the Bucks taking this one, 27-16.
Oh, listen, Shim. Listen. There's a couple of these I'm scared of. First off, I know we got our 2MW brother Randy Brown watching us right now, who is a big Miami Dolphins fan, and he'd be very pissed if his team loses. So I'm gonna put some light on this. So I gotta say, it's Fitzpatrick. I understand it was his first start last week against the New York Jets, but my God, you're loaded. That team is loaded. Any backup quarterback problem quarterbacking for that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense at all. They're loaded. It's no excuse. You can blame the offensive coordinator. We can blame a lot of people, but when you see passes overthrown, underthrown, X, Y, and Z, it's not a good look. Now, you go to Miami, you go into a team that play their ass off Sunday Night Football at the Carolina Panthers. Jarvis Landry getting hurt in the beginning of the game was a problem. He came back towards the end, but it was kind of too late. They still trying to find their identity in the running game with Damian Williams and Drake. Now it's getting better because they don't have a Ajayi no more. It's looking better. Devontae Parker's playing pretty good. Kenny Stills playing is playing pretty good. They need a defense. And Ndamukong Suh, the Ndamukong Suh that we know who he is, the reputation he had as a dirty player. I'm sorry. I am sorry. You cannot change the way you play. I'm not saying you do dirty stuff, but the intimidating factor was crazy. He needs to that 90 mil that he's making. He needs to put that intimidating factor back into the Miami Dolphins defense, and I believe he will this week, Shim. So, Miami Dolphins winning this game 17-14.
Wow, okay. That's definitely an upset in my book, so I'm baking it as one. Going with the Arizona Cardinals, they're traveling to the Houston Texans this week. The Texans have been on a 3-game losing streak since losing their premier rookie in Deshaun Watson. They're going to need to keep it simple and focus on a smash-mouth running game, as they have 127.9 rush yards per game. That's good enough for 6th in the league, which could help keep their defense off of the field and just keep them refreshed. So the Cardinals, they also need to keep focus on getting their aspect of the running game as well. Peterson, in the Cardinals' last 2 losses, has only 51 rushing yards. And if you look at him in the last 2 wins, he has 293 yards. So the struggling Texans defense actually has their rush D a bit more intact than the passing defense, as they're only allowing 3.7 yards per carry. So with the juggling act at the quarterback position in Arizona, and first time seeing Blaine Gabbert since December of 2016, I'm actually going to spin this back one in the favor of the star in the bowl. I'm going with the Houston Texans in this one, 28-15. Good luck to Blaine Gabbert.
You know what, Shim? The way I looked at I looked at this game was, okay. Let me look at both sides. We got Blaine Gabbert starting over Blaine Gabbert starting this week. Got Savage, Gabbert, Savage, Gabbert. Get rid of Gabbert. Okay, now we have, just look at the offense. I like the fact you got good veterans around Blaine Gabbert. You have guys like Adrian Peterson. You got Larry Fitzgerald. You got the Browns, both Browns there. You know, you have Gresham. Got good pieces there. When you look at the Houston Texans, they're turning back. That offense is turning back to the same offense they had last year. Potential, but not performing because of the quarterback, which was Savage again. We've seen how Savage looked like last year. We got Fuller, their number 2 wide receiver, might not play this week, so he might be the 3rd receiver. Goodson, he may play. Okay, is that an upgrade? Nah, it's not at all. Especially the quarterback spot is not that good. All right, what else you got there going? Not too good. Go to the defense of the Arizona Cardinals, still solid. The Houston Texans, it's like you could, I mean, when you got the coach running up and down the field on that defense, and I think the whole team is just down. There's no excitement because when Deshaun Watson went down, it's like they done. So I got the road team winning this week, the Arizona Cardinals, 24-17 on the road.
That's another upset in my book.
Gotta win, Sim. I gotta catch up to you, man. Gotta catch up to you.
We got the LA Rams. They're traveling to the Minnesota Vikings this week. I don't think anyone saw at this point, Tim, a couple of the top 2 teams in the NFC would be the Rams and the Vikings, let alone that Goff would be playing at this level. And the quarterback in Minnesota leading them well at this point would be Case Keenum. I mean, I love the things Keenum is doing this year, and this accuracy has been stellar. Goff is also he's also been displaying great vision this year. As an example, last week he had Robert Woods matched up with Joseph Jackson one-on-one, and he was able to deliver that long ball as a safety bit underneath on the crossing route, 95 yards for Robert Woods. This would be an interesting game as the Vikings pose a bigger defensive threat than the Rams have been seeing all season long. I think I like the better defensive team at home. I'm going Minnesota in this one. 26-24. A crazy good game.
Yes, Shim. I'll tell you this. And I'm going to say this right now. We're going to have the second and third best teams in the NFC face each other, with number one being the New Orleans Saints. There's no need for me to say who the number 4 team is. How you doing, Fox, Meg? So anyhow, as I was saying, you're right. 2 teams that nobody ever expected to be here. They both playing outstanding football, especially with I like how Minnesota, they lost their quarterback and they got Case Keenum, and he's doing a great job. He's basically telling the team, I know Teddy Bridgewater's behind me, but this is my team. Now, he's playing the team who let him walk, the LA Rams. Now, you know, the one thing I tell football fans, Shim, is that when we mention quarterback names and players, I recall this guy was also named when Kaepernick situation. He's a bum. See, here's the thing. It's so easy to say a player sucks and want to look at resumes. Sometimes we have to look at situations. Every player is good. If you're in the NFL, you're a good player. You might be in a bad situation versus somebody else. Case Keenum was in a bad situation with the Rams. Jeff Fisher, hello. Even Jared Goff didn't look too promising. Nobody looked promising. Gurley's worst year. He now travels to Minnesota for a whole new team. Nice defense. Nice offense. The Rams got a new coach. Number two, or number 1 in the league on offense. Defense still shaking up. But it's getting better. It's getting there. But Minnesota at home is very dangerous. And they know, hey, listen, the prize for us to stay home throughout the playoff is right there. We're not going to let a second-year guy come in here and mess it up for us. And you know what? Shim, I see that. I have the Minnesota Vikings winning this game 28-27. This is going to be a game to watch.
Should be a good one for sure. Can't wait for that. Next one is going to be the Washington Redskins at the New Orleans Saints. This one might not be too bad at all either. The Redskins are clinging on for life in the NFC East, but as they're a game below Dallas and are traveling to the hottest team in the NFL's house. And I still support Kirk Cousins. I believe he's catching most of the undeserved flag for the Redskins' failures. I see some fans will point out his inaccuracies at times and when he decides to turn it over at the most important time of the game. But I give him some slack due to no apparent running game, and their number 1 wide receiver in Terrell Pryor has been an absolute terribly disappointing bum. But what won't give them slack is that Saints defense that has been turning it up in the second portion of this season while they utilize some scary weapons on that offense, man. Boy, does that Saints offense have some weapons. I'm going with Nola, 35-23.
Shim, I think you was being very nice there.
Thank you.
He was being very nice. I know. I agree with the Kirk Cousins thing. I hope he doesn't take the money, and I hope he just leaves and go on to another franchise. He has to. I want to say this. Gruden, he should be fired. You're not Jerry Jones. You'll never be Jerry Jones. I don't know what you're doing. Terrell Pryor, fantasy football fans who picked you in the second round. That's what you did. Other than that, I mean, the Redskins they're terrible. They bad. I mean, horrible. We're talking about an offense that on paper beginning of the season, oh my God, they're gonna win the division, they're gonna go playoffs. You know, we got Reed. Reed is the same player, like Operation. Ain't it a thing? He buzzes. It's like, my God, Crowder. Where's the? Ain't this supposed to be a breakout year? Shim, I don't know what happened. The running game, Rob. I mean, every year is like a new running back. I don't know what's going on with that team. I don't. You know what? Maybe they should join the GM they fired for drinking. Maybe they all doing it when he was doing. That's probably what it is. I know that's probably what's going on. They're doing what he's doing right now because it's terrible. Now you go to New Orleans. I had said last week, you know, the New Orleans Saints are the best team in the NFC. Why? Because, you know, someone want to compare the Eagles or the Rams maybe. When I mention Drew Brees, it should be an end of conversation. Not only Drew Brees, for the first time in his career, got not only 100-yard runner, he had two in the same game. Last week, 200-yard game against a good defense in the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that offense is phenomenal. And what's crazy is you got guys on that offense who hasn't really done anything yet, like Snead or Coleman. Those two are just called when needed. You got Fleener. They got weapons. These guys can score all. This is probably the best offense I've seen in a long time. Not only that, they have a defense, a pretty good defense, with a shutdown corner in Marshawn Lattimore, who, my God, he's shutting down a lot of wide receivers. He made a very good wide receiver angry a couple of weeks ago in Evans. So when I see the Redskins, what am I looking at? Nothing. Nothing but an L. So with that being said, I have the Saints winning 28-10. Now, mind you, the 10 points will come on the fourth quarter when the blowout and the bloodbath starts. And excuse me, then it just run out the clock thing.
I got you. All right, sounds good. Let's do this next one. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to be traveling to the New York Giants. And Tim, this is going to be my shortest synopsis of the week because this is the easiest game of the schedule to decide. The Giants players have clearly stopped responding to McAdoo, and I would bet any amount of money on that anonymous source on McAdoo was probably Janoris Jenkins with the way he took himself out of the game last Sunday. I don't know. This offseason can't come soon enough for Big Blue fans. The Giants rarely win in 2017, and Andy Reid rarely loses after a bye week. We got Kansas City taking this one, 38-16. Tank on for Saquon.
Sam, I know how it feels when the Dallas Cowboys was done. Just tank on. I want a nice draft pick because we're a better team. And you know, I hate to admit it. I thought last week there at the 49ers and go ham, but I was like, my God, they're really tanking. They really are. And when I had made this pick, I was like, nah, I don't want them to get a top 3 draft pick. I really don't. But at the same time, I got to be good. I got to be smart because I got to catch up to Shim and these picks. So it was hard. I says, you know what? I don't see a win at all. I believe Eli Manning gets his record this week for beating his big brother Peyton Manning for the most consecutive starts. It would be 209. I think that's the record they was looking for Eli Manning. And I think going forward, I'm only predicting now. It's never said. I'm only predicting that Eli Manning will start every game, but I don't think he's gonna finish every game. I think he's going to start first half, second half. We see Davis Webb come in.
I agree.
With that being said, yeah, there's nothing to talk about anything. This is a fantasy football, guys. Listen, anything on the Chiefs, you grab right now. Grab it. I have the Chiefs winning this game 28-14.
Absolutely. You got to see what you have in Webb, and then
yes,
because you got to know if you got to draft Baker Mayfield, in April.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you know what, Shim? Reality is a playoff team picking in the top 5. They're a good team. Bad year because of injury. A lot of major parts in the injuries. A lot of communications, but a healthy offseason, healthy communications could really do some good for the team next year, picking in a top 5 in every draft round. That's not gonna. that's scary.
Yeah, and some more shout out to Kappa Sci-Fi. He's tuned in. He said the Cardinals are not winning, and he also said he hates to see when the Giants lose. Show me a little love. I appreciate that. Heartfelt fan audience out there.
No doubt, Cap. No doubt.
We got the Buffalo Bills traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. If you're the Chargers looking at your current opponent, you're seeing 500 rushing yards the last 2 weeks alone and telling yourselves it's going to be a running the rock kind of day. But the bigger picture here is the changing of the quarterback. Tyrod Taylor being benched for Nathan Peterman will be the biggest storyline this Sunday. And then going into next week for Bills Mafia, the effects of the run game are going to be hampered too, because you're not going to be doing read options with Nathan Peterson, which is what they ran quite a few times with Tyrod Taylor. It'll be interesting to see if McDermott has a different playbook approach now that he's utilizing Peterson over Taylor this week. I got the Bolts 27-16.
Shim, I just want to let everybody know right now that we don't rehearse.
We don't rehearse. We don't record.
We don't rehearse. Nah, we just go out with this. So, every time we say that, the score's a little bit close. When I look at this game here, Shim, I mean, Kyle Green, a.k.a. Della, the a.k.a. man, he's our draft guru, and he said he loved Nathan Peterman coming out of Pitt last year in the draft. He also said, watch him take over Tyrod Taylor's spot. Now, this kid played pretty good in the preseason, very good. And I was shocked when with the latest trade move for Kelvin Benjamin. I'm like, all right, this team is going somewhere. They're second place in the NFC East. Excuse me, AFC East, and I'm like, they made this move. Now, I'm going to say this in all respect to any Buffalo Bills fan, especially our 2MW brother Hobbs, who always calls and supports us. And I'm going to say this. This move hurts the Bills maybe this week because it's fresh. But I believe going forward, maybe in a couple of weeks, hopefully they're still in the playoff race, they're going to be a better team than what they have in Tyrod Taylor, in my opinion. Because now I think that guys like Charles Clay, they tight end, Zay Jones, you're going to see a lot more from the passing game. He's a bigger quarterback. He's not as athletic, but athletic enough. But for this game here, I mean, he's a rookie. He's going to Chargers Stadium. Well, what's that? The StubHub Stadium. I had the LA Chargers winning this game 30-14. It was close by a couple of points. 30-14.
I like it. We got the Cincinnati Bengals. They're traveling to the Denver Broncos. And we got the Bengals, the Bengals offense has disappeared since I raved about them, Tim. Last week against the Titans, they were 1-10 on third down. That's a recipe for disaster, as your offense clearly isn't doing its job for the time of possession and putting points on the board. But also that defense cannot be on the field for that long. 19 minutes and 51 seconds was the time of the possession for the Bengals. Not even a quarter of the game did they have the ball in their possession. Titans had the ball for 40 minutes. As bad as the Broncos have been this year, it's so hard to defend what's showing in Cincinnati. Not only that, I'm just sick of hearing about Vontaze Burfict. I'm sick of this, seeing what Marvin Lewis with a job still. Where's John Ross? You're still messing around with the running backs in the backfield like it's a juggling circus. Cincinnati residents, y'all deserve better for a long time now. And you know, part of me wants to bring out my power because I know I hold a certain realm of power inside of me, as I did chant last year on Football Fury. Get Gus to the bus and look at the Jaguars. Look at the season they are having. So I'm gonna bring out my little B base god powers for you Cincinnati fans, and we're gonna say, have Marvin be starving. Get him out of here. Have Marvin be starving. Get him out of here. We don't want him no more. But for now, Cincinnati, y'all taking that L. I got Denver taking this one 28-20.
Wow. Wow, Shim. You said 21-20?
28-20.
28-20. We don't rehearse this. Okay.
Tim, we need to get you like a siren. So if we ever get the correct score, you could just tap the siren and like a huge siren goes off, and I'll just run around the room. That'd be awesome.
It could be like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse when the magic
exactly.
But you know, when go crazy just like that. But going back, Shim, I supported, I backed up Marvin Lewis for how long already? Oh my God. I called him a babysitter. Not a babysitter, because that's all he was doing his whole career with the Bengals. Getting a lot of trouble players and just babysitting. You know, Vontaze Burfict, I like him. I really do. Really, really do. He has a target from his past. So the littlest thing he do could cost the team. He's the team second best defensive player next to Geno Atkins, the defensive lineman, in my opinion. But I don't know, the AJ Green. I'm hearing stuff about Aaron Ross not in the doghouse. I mean, this is the 4.2 speed Nike deal guy from the NFL draft. They're supposed to take the pressure off AJ Green, and then Tyler Boyd. I mean, where's it? I mean, and then you got Tyler Croft, who's a tight end came out of nowhere out of injuries. Last week, 2 catches. I don't know what's going on. Then you got AJ McCarron now going with the NFLPA to some type of court to make sure that he's a free agent next year because he wants to leave that team. There's a lot of issues going on with the Bengals. Now the Broncos here, they're disappointment because of their quarterback issue. They're pretty good they're still good at defense on paper. You have enough on offense to win big games and even be a playoff. It's the quarterback spot. Now, they just activated Patrick Lynch, the rookie quarterback last year, to now be the number 2 guy behind Brock Osweiler. Brock Osweiler, for the last 2 weeks against the Eagles and against the Patriots, he's passing the ball more efficiently to his receivers, but it's just not enough to beat 2 good teams. But I think this week, I think the Broncos will be much better, and they're going to win. I have the Denver Broncos winning 21-17.
I like it. We got the New England Patriots. They're going to be traveling to the Nevada Raiders. No, actually, it's going to be in Mexico. The matchup advantage here is going to be the Patriots' pass game against the Raiders' pass defense. Tom Brady knows how to spread the ball. He's got 121 combined receptions between his running backs and his tight ends this season, and 113 combined between the wide receivers. I'm not sure the Raiders have the coverage personnel to hold up with those backs and tight ends. The Raiders are the first team in NFL history with 0 INTs through the first 9 games. I look for Burkhead, Lewis, and White to be a 3-headed monster in Mexico. Mexico! I got New England taking this one 35-21.
Shim, this was the game of the talk of the offseason. This was the team. These 2 teams were supposed to meet up in the AFC Championship game last year. The This is going to be a very good game. Now, again, the Patriots, they're not the same. They're a very good team. Now, hold on. I want to say hugs to our favorite, one of our favorite 2MW supporters, and Wendy Sharp. I know she's looking. I know she's watching. I know she got a fork saying, if you pick against the Patriots, I'm going to toss this at you. But we have to do the right thing, Miss Wendy, because I got to catch up to Shim. I got to catch up to him. Now, look at the Patriots. Yo, Shim, you said it best. All these weapons, but it don't look the same as the old Patriots with Elderman. It don't look the same. Him and Cooks hasn't really been going along. They got Martellus Bennett back. Maybe that'll help out a little bit. They're getting older. Brady's 40 years old. Now you're going to the Raiders Nation. You're going to the black hole. When you go into the black hole, it's like a transformation. It's like going to Superman's house.
It's going to be a Mexican hole, though.
In the Fortress of Solitude. In the Fortress of Solitude. It's his house. So you got David Carr, you got Amari Cooper, you got Crabtree. This is going to be a good game. But you know what? The 12th man. That makes a difference in the black hole against a team like the Patriots. This is a hype game. I got the LA Raiders winning this game 24-17. The black hole.
It's going to be the Mexican hole. We got the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, wait a minute. They going to Mexico? They play in Mexico?
They're in Mexico.
Oh, wait a minute now. Hold up.
This is the Mexico game. This is why the Patriots, I believe they stayed in Colorado after their game last week because they're just traveling right down south.
2MW supporters and you know, Wendy, Shim, may I change my pick, please?
I think there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't take your hand off the piece, kind of like chess, I think you can still move it back.
Okay, hold on. I'm changing my pick.
All right.
I'm going to erase it. 24-17, the Patriots. Please. They ain't many. The Patriots are internationally known. We all know that. They're crossing the border now. Now, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
You gotta get
back to reality.
I'm just looking out for you, brother. I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We got the with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to be traveling to your boys' place, the Cowboys. We got a preview of what we can expect from the Cowboys, though, without Ezekiel Elliott in the lineup, and it wasn't pretty. It's not to say the responsibility of the loss came from the backfield, but it was a big testament of why they couldn't produce. Dallas fans also got their own taste of what it's like to have an Eric Flowers at left tackle position and Chaz Green. On top of Dallas missing their star running back, star left tackle, they're also missing their star linebacker in Sean Lee. If Lee's able to play, I'm not sure it's enough to stop the Eagles' offense from rolling with MVP candidate Carson Wentz, red hot right now. It doesn't hurt that Philly is fielding the 10th best D in terms of yards per game allowed, 315.9 yards. I look for the Eagles to make a big statement on Sunday on the road. Apologize, Tim. I'm sorry about that singing bet, Tim. All right. 35-20.
Everybody watching this show right now, we have a bet going on. Of course, you know me. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and when our host Fogmeg, he's an Eagles fan. So the loser of Sunday night's game will have to sing on Tuesday on Fury. The choice of a song is, of course, from the winner. Now, I made that bet because I have faith in my team. They respond pretty good when it comes to embarrassing loss. Last week against the Atlanta Falcons, that was an embarrassing loss. I blame on the coaching staff. Out of anger, you look at the game, you're blaming the player. But when you sit down, relax, and evaluate thing, and I looked at it, I'm like, you know what, Shim? Have had a lot of time in the game to make adjustments. A lot of time. And one player giving up 8 sacks and you only helped them out 3 times out of the whole game is crazy. And you benched them in the third quarter when the score was up there. Like, what was you looking at? Would you give him these Rocky Balboa speeches? They encourage him or something like that. If he's doing bad, you got to do something. They didn't help out Dak Prescott at all. And, you know, I'm clowning Dak as if he lost his game or because we lost because of Zeke. Wasn't even the case. We couldn't even do anything because the old line was getting pummeled. But here's the thing. We're back home, back against the wall. The one thing that my Cowboys team, what they do good, they fight. That's one thing they do. And we're playing a division rival in the Eagles. This is where playbooks and everything go out the door. This is where who's tougher, who want to stand up at the end, who's going to fall early. Now, yes, the Eagles right now are 8-1. They haven't played a 60-minute game of football. The NFC East does one thing better than any other division. They play 60 minutes, meaning that you may sweep every other team, but when you play us, you're going to get bloodied up. You may win, but you'll be bloody up. You'll fight. So when I look at this game, this game is going to be a fight to the end. Not going to be about X's and O's too much. It's going to be a fight, a heavy fight. And both teams have issues on the O-line. The Eagles defense right now, the front four to me is a very good front four, Shim, but I'm not scared of their secondary. I think the secondary is overrated. I think they have, you know, the last offensive team they faced, they lost. Carolina Panthers was the last team they beat. They haven't faced a good team, a real good team at all. The Dallas Cowboys, I believe, will respond in this game. I think they're gonna do a lot of things differently. I think Chaz Green won't start this game. It will be the other backup, Bell. And I like what he said. He says, if I get beaten, I'm going to get beaten my way. Meaning, if I got to scratch and claw, get penalties, as long as my quarterback don't get touched, I love that attitude. Rod Smith, he's making a statement. All making statements for this game, Shim. They home. I had the Dallas Cowboys, no surprise, winning 27-24 at home. We're going to put a dent in the Philadelphia Eagles. Fog Meg, my message to you, brother, get your singing lessons over the weekend. You're going to need it for Tuesday.
And our live viewer, Capra Sci-Fi, is supporting you in that. Said Cowboys could upset Philly, man. There we go.
That's my man, Cap. I know who you are, Cap, but I like you already, man. I'm digging what you're saying, man. I'm digging you.
Yeah, you got a fan already, Capper. We got a Monday night game to finish before we head out of here. Got the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to be traveling to the 12th Man Stadium. The Seahawks will be without their boy Richard Sherman. Unfortunately, he's out for the year with that Achilles. They resigned Byron Maxwell, though, who's bounced from organization to organization since he bounced from Seattle initially in 2014. He's not the caliber of Sherman, but it does help that he understands the system. I still think they're starting Lane in his position, though. Sherman is still very important to this defense. His pass yards allowed is 177, while the rest of the defense, 1,959 yards. He's only one touchdown allowed, and he has 2 INTs. The rest of that D has allowed 9 scores and only recorded 6 picks. Passer ratings going Sherman's way, 40.2. The rest of that defense passer rating of 80. Because of his absence, I suspect Seattle to play a lot of zone defense. And I think this is a game where Atlanta and Matt Ryan will have the answers for that defensive scheme. We also get to see a fiery Adrian Claiborne go against a weak O-line after his field day on Dak Prescott and Chaz Green. For this one, I got those Dirty Birds taking this one, 28-23.
The Seattle Seahawks are known as the Legion of Boom. The Legion of Boom came from the defense, not the offense. No Richard Sherman back there. That's a big part. It's a big loss on that side. Their safety Thomas, I don't know if he's playing this week. probably the best safety or top 2, 3 in the league. You could argue that. He's still very important. They haven't been playing like the Legion of Boom. A lot of issues. Now the offense, the identity now is done. It used to be where we pound the rock. It's turned into a team where Russell Wilson basically is on the run 24/7. I mean, he's having an MVP type year as well. He's carrying the Seattle Seahawks on his back. You know, that can't be denied. Now, you go to the Atlanta Falcons against Dallas. That wasn't the best. That wasn't the Falcons team that we know from last year. That was just a team who took advantage of the Dallas Cowboys offense, but didn't do anything special. Julio Jones was coming in on third downs. Third downs, he would come in. He didn't even start the game. He wasn't there on first, second down, so he's still horrible. Taylor Gabriel had a lot of got some burn in. Hooper got more involved. Freeman, they running back out with a concussion. He's out this week. So Telvin Coleman had to carry the load. He's not Freeman with pounding ground, but he's still a great option in the passing game. But Atlanta's a little bit more healthy than the Seattle Seahawks. Even with a half AJ Green, that's still great enough for that secondary. The Seahawks signed Byron Maxwell.
Give me the.
You all know him.
Give me the. My God.
Like, for real, Byron Maxwell, the guy who was a big time free agent for the Eagles and got torched. Like, man, wow. Okay. So with that being said, we all know who my pick's gonna be, right, Shim?
Oh, boy.
The Atlanta Falcons winning this game 27-24. Oh my God.
Pretty close score there. All right, nice. That wraps it up for us. Tim, next week we got a special holiday. We got the turkey coming up next Thursday. So what do you want to do for that? We can have pick'ems. We can move the pick'ems to Wednesday for next week for the viewers, or do you want to have maybe like an early type of pick'em Thursday on Thanksgiving?
You know what? I'll say Wednesday. You know, because people might be busy cooking that turkey and making that cake ready for the.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna tell everybody this: Thanksgiving is a time we be thankful for each other, but we're gonna be thankful for football. A lot of us we should be thankful for football, watching good games. The Cowboys in charges. Detroit Lions are playing. Green Bay Packers are playing. Yep. I believe the Jets are playing too Thursday. So it's great. Definitely do the pick'ems.
I hope I can stay awake after all that food, man. I might have to like DVR some of the games.
Oh, some coquito!
Folks, thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate the views as always. Thank you everyone that tunes in every week, Thursday, Tuesday. The special ones that tune in all the time, you know who you are.
Yes.
Thank you for the comments, concerns, the compliments every time. We appreciate, just the littlest things we appreciate, and we see everything. So thank you again. This is the reason we do it, is to get that acknowledgement, and it's a good feeling, so thank you. We continue to do this, and we hope to do this for quite a while. So thanks, folks. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for Football Fury, and then obviously it sounds like we're doing a Wednesday pick'em next week, and then everyone can enjoy their turkey day and holiday next week. So folks, you have a good one. Stay safe and be safe, knuckleheads.
Enjoy tonight's game.